I want everybody real quick to grab your 3-star ambassador hat. It's sitting next to you. Your 3-star ambassador hat, you're about to put it on. And when you put on your 3-star ambassador hat, you're now in a gigantic equity pool with very few people. You're now in a gigantic equity pool with very few people, which could very easily pay you a 6-figure a year equity check once we get big enough. And you're making $30,000 to $40,000 a month in commissions. On a count of 3, I want to know what it feels like once you put that hat on to know that you are in that really big equity pool. Be careful with her. In that equity pool, you're in the big equity pool, and you make $30,000 to $40,000 a month. On the count of 3, well, before you can put on that one, you got to take the broke one off. Go ahead, take the broke one off. Okay, you guys ready? Are you ready? Come on, are you ready?
Yes!
What's it feel like? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go! Here's what you're going to do. Here's what you do. I want you guys to write down. So I had to shift your brain here because I want you to write down right now what's some of the first things you're going to do when you're making that dividend check every year and that $30,000 to $40,000 a month. Just some of the first things because we don't have time for all the things. Normally I tell you to do all the things. We only got 2 minutes here. What's some of the first things? Where's the number one place you want to travel to? Write that down. Like you want to go on a 14-day Tuscany trip where you rent out the villa with the whole family and you have an Italian chef there and you have people that are there to service the villa and like, is that it? Or is it like, I want to do a South African safari? Or what is it that you want to do more than anything from a travel perspective? What is it that you want to purchase more than anything from a purchase perspective? Where's that dream home lie? Is it the beach? Is it the mountains? Is it on the river? Is it where is it? Where is it? Out in the woods somewhere? Is it a ranch? Where's that dream home? There's one that you can use. Who's somebody that more than anything, or a multiple somebody's more than anything that you want to retire or help or contribute to? Maybe it's people, maybe it's a charity, maybe it's a church, maybe it's a cause. Let's grab these 3 things. Let's grab this real quick. Just like boom. I want the house. That's on this area code, on this street, on this mountain, or whatever. Because you know the one I'm talking about, or the area I'm talking about. I want to go here more than anything. Like this is a must. I just want to do that. We're just gonna do the first little couple ones, and then I gotta give back here. I want to retire. Both the parents on both sides, or whatever. I don't know. Or I want to be able to write a multiple 5-figure check to my church or something like that. Okay, so what I want to do for you guys, I got a little slideshow. So this slideshow is a representation of what's possible. So I preface this slideshow with a couple things that I got to share. Number one is I got to ask permission. It could be viewed in poor taste for someone that's has been highly successful to go like, and I did this, and then I did that, and then I did this, if it's not delivered correctly. So I'm going to ask permission from those of you guys out there. Would you like to see some of what's possible if you guys will make the sacrifice, go out there and make it happen, yes or no?
Yeah!
For those of you guys that might be turned off by me going through some of this stuff, hey, grab a coffee or go use the restroom, come back in a few minutes, but I want to make sure that you understand the context in what I'm delivering this. If you understand the context in which I'm delivering this, here comes the second rule. Second rule is, under no circumstances are you to come up to me at any point after this and say, oh my goodness, so you're so lucky, or that's so amazing, I'm so happy for you. Because if that's what you say to me, you've missed the point of me delivering this. The only thing I want to hear is, if you're inspired by it, is, hey, that was inspiring, but I'm going to have a better slideshow than you. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. I'm past the point where I need a pat on the back for doing these things. I want you to be inspired to go do them yourself. That's the only reason for showing this. And then come say, hey, that was inspiring. I'm going to have a better slideshow than you. That's what I want to hear. Good. And then the third one is, remember that these are only some of them. These aren't even all of them. These are just some of them over the last 6 or 7 years. Not even all of them. So I'm going to go through this slideshow as quickly as I can And I want you guys to be inspired to start writing down places you're going to go and things that you're going to do. Here's just some of the things we've done over the last 6 years. Let's go ahead and hit a song, and let's start right here. This is Cape Town, South Africa, Tabletop Mountain, staring out at Robben's Island, where Nelson Mandela was held for 27 years. How many of you guys have never been to South Africa, Tabletop Mountain? Put it on your list. This is the Golden Gate Bridge. Who's never been there? Guys, put it on your list. Inspiring. This is the Hearst Castle, largest castle in America. Great place. Who's never been to the Hearst Castle? Guys, put it on your list. This is zip lining in Jamaica. Who's never been zip lining? Who's never been to Jamaica? Put it on your list. This is just a sunset in Puerto Rico. Who's never been to Puerto Rico? Hey, put it on your list. Hey, this is a dolphin ride. Anyone never rode a dolphin before? Hey, put it on your list. This is Burning Man. Burning Man. Who's never been to Burning Man? You probably won't put that on your list. This is Phasianet Bay, top 10 beaches in the world, Tasmania. Who's never been to a top 10 beach in the world, period, right? It's like, put it on your list. This is Mardi Gras. Who's never been to Mardi Gras? I can't recommend it. I don't know if you put that on your list. This is the Sugarloaf, Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. If you look right there, that's Cristo, the cross. Right? So how many of you guys have never been to Rio de Janeiro? Put it on your list. This is Australia, Sydney Opera House. We walk up, the moment we take the picture, rainbow appears. It's hard to see in that lighting, but rainbow appears above it. Who wants to just go see an opera inside it? We went on Christmas Day, we saw the Nutcracker inside it. This is a few different ones. Apparently we're missing the one in the upper right, somehow it didn't transfer over. This is Austria. Sharing a kiss in the park in Austria. This is a bridge in Frankfurt with all the locks for love. This is Sweden. This was Finland, I think that picture was. Who's never been to Austria, never been to Germany, never been to Sweden? Put them on your list. This is Finland, freezing my butt off in Finland. Look at little Gia right there. It was 0 degrees. This is the canals in Amsterdam. Who wants to see Amsterdam? Who wants to see Finland? Put it on your list. This is Big Ben, London. Who's never been there? Put it on your list. This is, man, this was funny. This was Italy, Lido Beach, which is outside of Venice, Italy. It was the night they won the World Cup like 9 years ago, eight years ago. And we didn't even have soccer in our high school. So I was there the night they won the World Cup, and whoo, talk about a place to be. This is a bunch of crazy Italians. They hijacked a moving transportation truck, like a FedEx truck. There's like 10 of them on top of it, 10 of them inside of it, and they gave the driver a beer and an Italian flag. He's just driving down the streets. Mona Lisa. Who's never seen the Mona Lisa? The Louvre. Put it on your list. This is Milan, Duomo. This is Milan, Galleria. Who's never been to Milan before? Guys, put it on your list. This is the Sistine Chapel, Rome. Who's never been to the Sistine Chapel? Put it on your list. This is Verona, the largest outdoor amphitheater in the world. 5,000 people. It's a 2,000-year-old structure where gladiators used to fight. It's like the minor league division before Rome. And they turned it into an amphitheater, so you go there and you watch a play. No microphones in a 2,000-year-old structure with 5,000 people. You talk about a cool experience in Verona, Italy. Guys, you got to create your life. This is Valentine's Day this year, 2015 Valentine's Day. We go to Rome because we're doing the launch for Italy on the 15th. So myself, Blake, Rich Paula, Jason O'Toole, our significant others, we're a part of the launch. So I grabbed the guys and said, let's do something outrageous. So what we did is we rented a private tour of the largest private art collection in all of Rome. It's owned by the Column family. Maybe you heard of them. They invented the column. Maybe you heard of them. They invented this thing called the column. So we tour the whole house. They got security walking us from room to room to room, and then we go to their cafe area, I think it was called, and you walk in the room, and this is it. And there's an eight band string quartet playing music, and then there's this huge table. But the cool thing was, and we didn't know this, is the room that we're in doing dinner, private chef. We look up, and the story of Cupid is painted on the ceiling, right? Guys, you gotta create your life. You don't just live it, you gotta create your life. This is giving the Global Leadership Award to John Wooden. This is, anyone like music? Any music people out there? Hey guys, create your life. This is a 3-day concert called Outside Land, so all of our favorite bands. This is buying at the silent auction at this concert. You know, walked in, dropped $2,500 to go to kids, got to write it off, and got a signed guitar at Pearl Jam. This is Swedish House Mafia farewell tour. 15,000 people got a suite to watch it. The guy who opened for them, for the techno folks in the house, was the guy that was the DJ at my wedding. This right here is where the more rock people at, or more rock people and rock people. This is Coachella. This is old school Coachella. Old school Coachella. This is Rage Against the Machine after 7 years of breaking up. Sunday, midnight, 103 degrees, 100,000 people. Outrageous. So, don't miss the concert. Just go. Create your life. This is proposing to Ashley in front of 2,500 of our closest friends at a national success training in Atlanta. Everything pre-planned to the T. She thought I was giving her pin for 3-star ambassador. Instead, it was an engagement ring. This was 120 of our friends on 11/11/11 at 11/11/11. Happens once every 1,000 years. All 120 people at the wedding party on that exact second all run and jump off from the dock into the ocean, all videotaped, etc. Very, very funny, very cool. This was St. Bart's, renting a sailboat on Christmas Day. We decided that we'd find out if it was a boy or a girl while sailing around the islands of St. Bart's and opening up the present and finding out. Turns out it was a girl. And now there's the girl, 2 days old, already throwing up a vi sign. 2 days. You can't teach that stuff. It's in her blood. This is retiring my mom, showing up a day or so before Christmas and giving her a get out of job jail free card. So I've been paying my mom's salary ever since that time, about 7 years ago. Anyone want to retire mom or somebody in your family? Now you might say, what about Dad? Oh, Dad was the biggest hater of all. He was the biggest hater of all. So I told him the whole time, 20 years old, I was like, I'm going to retire Mom one day, not you. I'm going to buy Mom a sports car one day. Keep talking trash. I'm going to buy Mom a sports car. I forgot to put that picture in there. Mother's Day a couple years ago, I say, hey guys, you might want to go outside. There's somebody outside. So they walk out. There's this huge trailer out there with all these cars loaded, and they back off a little 1 Series black BMW with red interior for my mom for Mother's Day. Hey, sorry, Dad, you said it wouldn't work. So I waited about another 5 years after my mom retired to retire my dad, and mainly because my mom was like, don't you dare send him home with me every day. Mainly. So we retired my dad last year. Some of you guys want to retire both mom and dad, right? Anybody want to retire both mom and dad? We also retired Ashley's mom. This is a cool thing. These are the gifts that you guys got to create. You got to think through this stuff, right? Create your life. My grandparents had never been to California before, so I flew, one of them had passed. I flew 3 of them out to California. We drove the entire Pacific Coast Highway all the way down to San Diego from San Jose. In San Diego, there's a place called La Jolla, the top of La Jolla, Mount Soledad. There's a cross, which is a memorial for veterans. So I surprised as they were looking around going, well, this is neat, this is for veterans. I let them find their way to where I was at one point sitting, which is where both of my grandfathers have a memorial. When I bought them, they're both World War II veterans. One landed in Normandy, and the other one did 48 missions as a tail gunner in the South Pacific. So these are the stuff, guys, that you'll do. This is writing a $200,000 check for charity. Ashley and I gave $1 million to our own foundation called Next Gen. It's to educate the next generation of entrepreneurs at an early age. What we do is we give money to existing nonprofits and foundations that have programs in place. We fund those programs. For example, in Florida, we're the head sponsor for NIFTY, National Foundation of Teaching Entrepreneurship, South Florida. They take 500 inner city youth kids every year and do a business plan contest, and it's a multi-month thing. So we fund things like that. Last month, my buddy gave me a call and said, hey, local community college is going to bring in a school of entrepreneurship in the local community college. I'm donating the building. Do you want to donate the scholarships? So every year, hopefully for decades to come, it's at least 20, depends how the school invests the money. They're going to get a $10,000, one person that graduates from the School of Entrepreneurship will get a $10,000, not scholarship, seed capital to start a business locally there in the city as a new entrepreneur. Here's the cool part. It's called the Rooks Sarnicola Center for Entrepreneurial Studies. Guys, I didn't graduate community college. I didn't even graduate community college. Now there's one named after us. That's what can happen to you guys if you dream big enough. This is my first bachelor pad. It's a 5,000 square foot studio loft. Studio loft, 5,000 square foot, wide open. It's actually an auditorium in a high school. The same buddy I was just talking about, he bought a high school and he turned it into modern living. I bought the auditorium. This is literally a stage. So you're literally on stage up here. This is where all the students sat and they'd watch the band perform and the announcements of, think about your high school, right? So there's 2 rules in this penthouse. Rule number 1 is you must keep your shoes on. Because for 20 straight years, I had to hear, you gotta take your shoes off in the house, can't wear your shoes in the house. And then the response was, just wait until you get your own house. Well, I got my own house, and we wear our shoes every day in that house. Now, over here, there's a second rule. Over here's a basketball court indoors connected to the kitchen. And the reason why there's a basketball court inside is because for years, 20 of them, my parents said, no throwing balls in the house, just wait until you get your own house. Well, I got my own house, and we throw balls in the house. That's what we do in the house. This is a new condo right here. This is a 7,000 square foot, 2-story, 270-degree condo on penthouse on the 31st and 32nd floor. Okay, this 4-bedroom. This is an 18-foot water wall. This is a projected image onto the floor. You can change the images with infrared. So this is a fish, that one right there is fish swimming in koi pond. It's a koi pond. If you walk on the koi pond, it will splash and the fish will swim away from you. So it measures you as you're walking on top of it. Upstairs is a gym and a 20-foot living wall. So it's 12, 13 feet high, 20 feet long, and it's all like, bushes and vegetables and flowers. And I mean, the shower can hold probably 20 people in it. Steam room, like jacuzzi, steam room, 18 shower heads, LED lighting that changes. The music system in there is outrageous. This is the stuff that you guys will do. We designed the whole thing. You guys got to come to one of our boot camps one day and come be a part of it. And then this is my favorite one. This is the Miami house. This one has got a really good story to it. When I was 21 years old, Blake was 19 years old, I won a cruise from the company. I then could take a significant other. I didn't have one because I worked all the time, so I brought Blake. And we left out of the port of Miami. And when you leave out of the port of Miami, there's only one direction you look, and that's at Palm Island, Hibiscus Island, and Star Island. And me and Blake sat there and I said, one day I will live on those islands. 2 years ago, Ashley and I bought a house on Palm Island, and every day we get to sit on a rooftop and wave to the people on the cruise ships as they wave to us. Where's that? Any car lovers at? Yeah. Monaco, Grand Prix, Formula One. Back of a $50 million yacht, and we're from here to Brandon away. Unbelievable life experience. Put it on your list. This is, who's ever been to Seattle and been to the Space Needle? Guys, go on 4th of July. Spend $80 or $100 a head to go in the spinning restaurant on the top and watch 7 fireworks shows. This is Times Square. Who's never been to Times Square? It's great to go for the first time. You know what's better than going to Times Square? Is when 7 years later, you're on Times Square. That's a much better time to go to Times Square. Create your life. We really like wine. I recommend Napa Cab. That's our favorite. So the last trip to Napa. Who's never been to Napa and you like wine? Guys, go. I mean, it's amazing. It's a whole other world inside a world. This is filling up the Miami Heat Arena. 2 months after LeBron won the championship, we had more people than they did in that stadium. Just absolutely exploded in this event right here. This event drove us to the final $1 billion. I can't wait to see the stadium that you'll be in when you become a 5-star ambassador and you take the stage. How many people will be there? 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 people? How many of you guys are going to walk that stage at a stadium one day? $1 billion. Give it up for $1 billion. Safari. Hey, if you're asking me my favorite life experience of all time, this is it right here. Go African photographic safari. Amazing, intriguing, scary, intense, exciting. Go get it done. This is Soho in Tokyo. This is taking a car from your Matchbox toys and putting it into your driveway. This is going paddleboarding in Dubai. This is Louisville, Kentucky, going into the premier box suites at the Derby. This is, I don't know what that is. It used to be something. This is my favorite restaurant experience. This is 80 floors up. banyan tree. This is in Bangkok, Thailand. And this is, anyone ever see Hangover Part 2 where the helicopter flies up? Yeah. This is the restaurant right here. This is the restaurant. Unbelievable. This is my favorite place in America. This is Big Sur, California. At the top of this, you can't see it, is a giant 360-degree glass house. I'm going to own that house. I promise you it's on the list, and it will happen. You can see it actually on this side over here. Almost done. This is not Las Vegas. This is Paris. What do those bare feet mean? Today, I beat the system. This is Rome, Colosseum. Pay the extra couple $100 and go down on the floor. Go down where the gladiators fought. Right in front of where the senators sat. It's intense. And I get goosebumps even as we talk about it. It's my first time seeing a glacier. You can tell it's my first time seeing the glacier because my pants are tucked right in my sock right there. So I run right out to the middle, I look down, and I see these giant ice cubes sitting there. I'm like, what is these? He said, well, pieces of the glacier, he goes, it's kind of sad, pieces of the glacier, they break off, they float into the lake, and then they freeze. And he goes, sad because after a while, the glacier's not going to exist anymore, just it keeps breaking away and breaking away, breaking away. And for me, that was a turning point in my life because it's the greatest metaphor for time that I'd ever heard. Because it's something you can't get back. Every day you lose a piece, you lose another piece, you lose another piece, and then all of a sudden, there's no more time left. And will you look back and go, man, what are all those things I did not do? And create a bucket list of all the things you didn't do? Or will you have a lived list of all the things that you lived, all the memories that you lived, all the places you've seen, all the things that you accomplished? There is no second chance at this, guys. You got one shot. You got one shot at this lifetime. Do not waste that one shot. Who's never been to the pyramids in Egypt? I went up to the pyramids in Egypt. There's only 2 more slides and we're done. I went up to the pyramids in Egypt and I said, man, I'd really like to climb those things, these 5,000-year-old man-made structures, made by aliens, of course. And I said, I'd really like to climb that. They go, that's highly illegal. You cannot climb it. I know that I can, but I really like to. Like, you can't do that. I understand it, but I really kind of would want to. Tour guide looks around and he goes, I'm the Michael Jackson of tour guides. $500. He pays off the police. Police walk away. I'm on the top of that thing. Create your life. Don't just take what's given to you, which will be left over from those who created theirs. Don't take the leftovers. Create your life. Create your life. Paris, France, Arc de Triomphe. I'm walking down the road on the far right side of the sidewalk. There's 8 lanes of traffic. 4 lanes on this side. Just play those songs. 4 lanes on this side, 4 lanes on that side, and they're going, 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 and they're going. But I'm watching the sun. I'm like, this is going to be a really interesting sunset. This is going to be a really interesting sunset. This is going to be a really interesting sunset. So I run into the middle of traffic. So now imagine there's 4 lanes of traffic here, and there's 4 lanes of traffic here. And on these 4 lanes of traffic, they're honking the horn. They're yelling. They're screaming. Some of them are throwing stuff. Noise, 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 noise. What are you doing? Why are you're dumb. You're stupid. Just everything you can think of. But I didn't care. Here, let me tell you why I didn't care. Because I understand in life that you only get one shot. I get it that you only get one shot. And when that opportunity presents itself, and when that opportunity comes for you to take that shot, you better not worry about the noise. You better not worry about what they say. You better not care about the opinions of others. You better take that shot no matter what. This is your shot. Take your shot. Who will take your shot with my Salas? Who will take your shot? Will you take your shot? Will you take your shot? Will you take your shot? This is your shot. Take your shot. Do not miss your shot. Take it, run with it. Ladies and gentlemen, I will see you on stage in Kansas City. I know you can do it. Do it. Take your shot. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys. Take your shot. I'll see you in Kansas City. Thanks, everybody.